To the relief of many parents, school is back for the year, but already the report card's out about the state of education in Australia. We can do better. Our global ranking for maths, reading and science, once a source of national pride, is slipping at an alarming rate. Students are being crushed by the pressure of expectation. More and more teachers are quitting, and frustrated parents are demanding answers. But across the world, in icy Finland, they've discovered the best way to get top marks is to chill out, a relaxed approach to learning that's starting to work in one school here too. It's Monday morning and class is underway.
Thank you.
But instead of textbooks and pencil cases, the learning is hands-on. Animals are the subject.
Oh, it's starting to get a bit tight around here.
This is Templestowe College, or TC, an alternative school for alternative thinkers.
Are you an educational radical?
Radical's probably too strong, but
What do
I'm
you think you are?
significantly dissatisfied with the way traditional education works.
Peter Hutton is the well-liked principal of this Melbourne public school, where students are in charge of their own studies.
What is it about the current system that makes you so dissatisfied?
I think a lot just don't like it, and like anything, when we don't like it, we don't put in our best effort.
Outdated.
Totally outdated. It was a system that was fit for purpose probably 150 years ago.
Here, they select whatever subjects they want, whatever their passions. There's no grading, no testing, and everything's negotiable.
There are no class levels.
No.
How does that work?
Well,
If there's
I
no
would-
grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11.
It seems crazy that we group students solely by their year of manufacture, so that, just by the date of their birth determines who they should be learning with.
How do you produce a well-rounded student, though, if they are not
We're not a factory. We don't produce students. We take students who are individual people and we look at what their strengths are and endeavour to build on those strengths.
Students run their own businesses out of the school.
Peter?
That's me. Thank you.
No problem.
Is business good today?
I don't believe so.
Going all right, is it? Okay.
Thanks.
They interview prospective teachers
How do you ensure that all students learn at their own pace?
I really strongly believe in making sure that each student has an individualised program.
and start the school day at a time that suits them. It's anything but traditional education.
Do you believe your system is right?
Absolutely.
And so that would suggest that the other system is wrong.
Absolutely.
Australia's education system is in crisis. On a continual slide down world rankings in science, reading and maths. Trends demonstrate a 15-year-old student is now 7 months behind where they were 10 years ago in science alone. Peter Hutton puts it down to an archaic system that places far too much pressure and competition on teachers and kids. 17-year-old Josh Peake was a failure at his previous school, but Templestowe gave him a second chance.
Students at the other school were they focused so much on the learning and they, trying to get better scores and all that. And if someone kind of got in their way and all that, they would, avoid them.
Were you upset?
Yeah. I didn't, and then I got bullied at that school as well.
You got bullied?
Yeah.
How did you get bullied?
Oh, just punching, kicking and all that.
Oh.
And Josh is not alone.
Where I used to be was completely different. I feel like if you weren't good enough for them, you would get left behind, and that was it.
I hated my old school. I didn't like going to school. But here, we're treated differently, and at the other schools we were treated as like a number, and that was kind of it. Here we're treated like a student, and they pick our needs and what we want to learn educationally wise.
You need to write out the question. So you need to write out what...
Do we put too much pressure on students?
I'm really skeptical about that argument. Let me give you an example. Here's a question from Year 3 Mathematics NAPLAN. Emma has 8 seashells. She keeps 5 and she gives the rest to her friend Harry. How many does Harry have? Are we really supposed to believe that asking that question of a student inflicts psychological damage on them?
Stephen Schwartz is the chair of the Australian Curriculum, Assessment and Reporting Authority. He recognises there's a problem with our system, but says an overhaul isn't the answer.
Sure, there are challenges in life, and maybe doing a NAPLAN test is a challenge, but it is nothing compared to the challenge of leaving school unable to read, unable to write, and trying to find a job.
14,000 kilometres away in the icy surrounds of Finland, an education transformation has taken place. 50 years ago, this country hit the reset button on schooling, and the results have had the world transfixed.
It's a revolution.
I've read that in Finland, the best school is the closest school. Is that something you agree with?
Yes, definitely I agree with.
Why is that?
Well, every school is pretty much the same in Finland.
Leena Liu-Savara is the principal of Resu Comprehensive School in Helsinki.
Where are the private schools and where are the independent schools?
Well, we rarely have any private schools in Finland. There's no need for that kind of a system in the country, so...
There's all public schools.
Yes.
They're all the same.
Yes.
Teach the same things.
Yes.
To the same students who have the same learning potential.
Yes.
And that works?
That works really, really well. I wouldn't understand it if somebody would like to do it in any other way.
And there are other factors that have made the Finnish system a unique success. Kids begin school later, at the age of 7. And their education is completely free. It has staggered start times and shorter days. There's limited homework, no standardised tests, no rankings, and a strong emphasis on free play. At least 15 minutes of every hour is spent in the schoolyards.
Finland didn't always have it so good. In fact, back in the 1960s, like much of post-war Europe, it was a pretty ordinary place to be. There was bitter and deep divisions, there was a lot of debt owed to neighbouring countries, so a big and bold decision had to be made. Either stay stuck in a rut or make a change. The government made a change. What was the plan? Public school education.
It was a gamble that's still paying huge dividends. Finland, with its population of over 5 million people, has consistently topped world rankings for the last decade. Students are learning and they're having fun doing it.
5 times F minus 32.
What is it about the school that you love?
It's really relaxed. I like it here a lot.
Relaxed? What do you reckon, Roy?
I think it's fun because you have loads of friends and lots of recess time.
And then you just divide the whole thing by 9.
Do you like languages?
I know a lot of languages.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak 6 languages, 3 fluently and 3 I'm intermediate studying.
What do you like about school?
I just love my school. We have a free food and interesting subjects.
Hello.
Hi, Mom.
Sydney author Lucy Clark wishes her kids could have had the same schooling experience as the Finnish students.
My daughter had a really difficult time at school. She struggled through the later years of high school and started shutting down. Her output basically just couldn't deal with the idea of competition and assessment and ranking of children. So she gave up. She basically failed to hit every mark a child is expected to hit in mainstream schooling. So it was really, really stressful for our family, but it was difficult for no one more than her.
And has your child been able to recover or bounce back, or are there still problems?
No, she's still recovering from her school experience.
Her daughter's problems forced Lucy to investigate our schooling system. What she found was troubling and widespread.
How's she doing now?
Children suffering from depression and high anxiety at the sheer pressure of needing to succeed.
I think there are a lot of kids who feel like failures in the school system because we have a very narrow view of what success is, and it's very alienating for a lot of kids who fall outside that narrow view.
Don't you think that some children need to be challenged, though, in school?
Yes.
Because when they get older, life ain't easy.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't think drilling down with adult-like pressures onto children during a vulnerable time in their life is the way to go.
Why do you think the Finland model has been so successful?
There's only one key word that I can actually find, and that's trust. It's like trust throughout the whole thing. The society trusts its educationists, and the schools are trusted by the parents. I, as a principal, I trust my teachers.
In Finland, teachers, alongside doctors, are the most respected people in the country. And it's a highly sought-after profession that requires a master's degree at university. What's your view on Finland?
I think it's a Finnish fantasy, actually.
A Finnish fantasy?
Finland's a very small country, population about the same size as Sydney's population. Very homogeneous country. Everybody's pretty much the same in Finland. There's very little diversity, there's very little poverty, there are hardly any disadvantaged schools. It's not a very close comparator for Australia.
We put that argument to the Finns.
We have immigrants, we have unemployed families and that kind of things. We have language issues. We have Finnish as a mother tongue, Finnish as a second language. We have special education students in every single school.
Back in Melbourne, and in case you're wondering, Templestowe's free-range system does meet Victorian curriculum guidelines, even though the emphasis is on students finding their own path of learning rather than sitting for tests.
I just love seeing when students take control of their own education, and it's nothing to do with me other than creating the environment that allows them to do that.
How can a student have the mental maturity to know what they want to do at such a young age?
If you look at a toddler, they know what they want to do. It's not a significant stretch to think that an adolescent doesn't know what they do and what they don't like.
Do you put happiness above academic success?
Absolutely. Why would you not do that? A happy learner is a successful learner.